Edith,
Yes.
you start talking about sleeping in your clothes, running for bomb shelters every night. Tell us about that.
Well, we started in 39, September, when my dad was having supper at the dining room table in the kitchen, and these two Gestapos came in and got my dad. They said, "You're in a war." That's the last time we saw him for a long time, for probably a couple of years or more.
How did that feel? You're just sitting there at the table.
I know. We was having our supper there. We had our dinner, and so my mom was by herself with us.
She was pregnant, wasn't she?
Not in 39.
Mm.
No.
Yes, she was.
Because
Because my youngest brother was, no, you're right.
Yeah.
No, it
not
couldn't-
quite.
No,
Yeah, not
because
quite.
he was born in 40. My youngest brother, he just passed last year.
So what was it like sleeping in bed with all of your sisters? Because the boys slept together and the girls slept together, and you slept in your clothes with
We
your
had
shoes.
this
by
one
the
big metal bed, and we all had to sleep, but we always had to be dressed because the sirens went off all the time. You never know when they're going to go off. You had to go to bunker. So at night, we just went to bed with our clothes on, had our shoes in front of the bed, and we all slept, like I said, in one bed. That's all we had.
So on the way, one day, on the way running to a bomb shelter, your mother fell.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yeah. It was, there was no lights, no electricity, no nothing. And our house was like over this way. And the bunker was right in the center on the houses. So we didn't have that far to run. But we was running because the sirens already went off and we had to be in there.
You only have a limited amount of time to get there,
Yes,
right?
that's right.
And then they shut the door and it's locked, and if you're out, you're out.
Yes. So, but she fell. And that's what she had my youngest brother.
So she fell
On the street, she had it, and there was no doctor, no nothing.
8 months pregnant.
She fell, and you went on to the bunker.
We went to the bunker. We didn't want to go. We didn't want to leave her. So
why did you leave her?
Well, they made us go.
The people in the street?
Yes. The neighbors.
Scooted you along.
The neighbors and strangers, and they all took care of us, by my mama. And we didn't know till it was all over with what happened.
So you were in the bunker all night, or how long were you in the bunker waiting to find out what happened to your mother?
It usually takes all night, yes.
What'd you do all night sitting in there? Tell us how you
just
felt.
sit there.
Crying?
And cry for mama, and no daddy, no mama, no. So just with strangers in a cold place. And because those bunkers were cold. And
how many people would be in a bunker?
I don't know.
A lot.
Yeah.
Did you sit down or stand up?
People, the whole area where we lived.
You would stand up or sit down?
No, there was benches in there to sit down on it, yes.
And so it's morning, so you're crying all night, waiting to get out to see what happened to your mother, and you come out, and what happened?
And then we found out we had a brother.
That's so crazy.
It is.
I know.
So crazy.
And we want to know where he came from. Because he told us the story about the stork. There was sugar on the windowsill.
Oh, my gosh.
The old-timey story. And my mom used to say that. Because when we asked her, because she had babies all the time. And she, but anyway, she didn't go to the hospital. The house we lived in was bombed 3 times. And this time it got bombed. And she was in the house, but no water, no electricity, no nothing.
So you took the baby back to your bombed out house.
Yes.
How did you repair the windows?
She had she didn't have a doctor. She had one of those midwives.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's what she had.
So when you come out of the shelter, are there dead people laying around on the street?
Oh, yes. You just go, you step, and you're not allowed to touch them or check on them.
You're not?
No, because you wasn't allowed to touch them, make sure they're okay or something. But we figured most of them were dead anyway.
So these are people that were running to the bomb shelter that didn't get in time.
That's right. That's right.
And so your mother's out there this
and
one
all
night.
ages, kids, grown-ups. So.
Do you have bad dreams about that?
Not that, sometimes I do, not that often, no.
So what do you think when you come out and do you just become numb to it, I guess?
That was our life. We didn't know any different at that time because it was whole 6 years. And we just had to go what we was told.
Just do what you're told. Thank you, Marta. So you go to your house to see if it's been bombed. Every morning you come out, or practically. It got to where it was almost every night, didn't it?
Oh, every day, yes.
Every day. And you come back to your house to see if it's still standing. And usually the windows are blown out.
Oh, yeah, there's always damage.
And how do you repair that?
You don't. You just live there like you just clean up. I remember people cleaning up what they could because there was, what can you do when the bomb comes, And the Americans were daytime bombers, but the English were at night.
Oh, really?
Yes. So we had day and night.
Bremen was destroyed.
Yes.
Completely
it was.
destroyed.
Yes.
Why was it such a target for everyone?
Well, because it was a port, main port. All the ships come from overseas. And they had the factories there, the U-boats and stuff, And then Bremerhaven, which is the sister city, was about 15 minutes apart. In Hamburg, Germany, there were all three of them was ports, main ports. They got bombed all the time. There was nothing left.
It's amazing that your mother had this baby in the street.
I know.
And then goes home with it. And that baby is fine. Is that baby still, is your little sister, or is it a little brother or a little sister?
Brother.
Is he still alive?
No, he passed away last year.
So, he lived all this time.
Yes.
And, in a minute, when the listeners hear all that you did, it's going to be amazing. Any of y'all are alive. So you get back to Bremen. You get in the back of a truck with a bunch of people.
But going back to the border.
Yes.
The tree was about halfway down, and I still see that picture. And because we thought we were going to get hit with the tree, we was afraid. And there was this Russian patrol car came, open Jeep with guys with guns. And they were trying to get us. But the last minute, my mom had proof that we were from the West and the Americans let us through.
Before the Russians came and took the rest of the people.
We saw them coming.
You were the last person through?
Yes.
That's a movie right there.
Yeah, right.
It is a movie, isn't it? I've always told her that.
So cinematic.
It is. And everything about it. I told her this 20 years ago when we first started talking about this. I told her back then, this should be a book and it should be a movie. So she's right when I say I was always twisting her arm, but it really does read very much like a movie. Mm-hmm. If you didn't know it, you'd think, oh, you're making that up. You know,
It does read like a movie.
It does, and yet it's now. And the only reason that I don't like giving the end away.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about the end anymore.
Yeah,
we're stopping.
And
right
the
there.
only reason I don't is because as a reader or in watching a movie, the worst thing in the world was my sister to tell me the ending of a movie. It's like, why did you tell me that? So I really think it's important to leave something for the reader to wonder about. Okay, what happened? How's this resolved? I do resolve everything for them, but I will go as I've had children ask me this in classes. Well, no, did everyone stay together? And I said, well, let me just tell you this. When they get back to Bremen, you know, there is no home, there is no neighborhood. It's just demolished. You know, they're having to.
Don't tell everybody.
Right, but here's what I will tell people is that when they get back to Bremen, the family is not intact. And it takes several years before the story is resolved and you know what happens to everyone else. And I think that's what I want to leave for the reader, because I think it is an amazing story. And I do like to wrap up those loose ends and do at the end. But it is an amazing story that does, I think, honestly, read like a movie.
She did a terrific job.
She did a terrific
I tell
job.
you what,
I know.
I did. Tell you the truth, I never thought the book would go anywhere. This is surprising.
Well, let me just tell you, it may be a movie one day. I really believe it could be a movie one day. And if I was a producer,
Big-time
I'd
producer.
produce it. But I do know a few.
Oh, good. Okay. I have a Facebook author page and a website, so give me a call. It is absolutely, and I do mean this. I know I'm the author, so you expect me to say this, but this is a story I have known for 20 years. I absolutely love the story, and I really do love hearing from people that have read it and share with me what they think about it, because I'm very passionate about it, because it is a beautiful story and it's true. That's what's so cool about it.
That is what's cool about it.
Yes.
Speaking of that, how do you buy the book?
It is on. You can go to Amazon, Barnes and Noble. It's in e-format or paperback or hardcover.
Does somebody read it? Is there an audio?
There is not an audio book. There is not an audio book. We talked about doing one at one time, and nothing ever came of that. But you can get it in more than one format. Backtobremen.com is my is my website.
In closing, to our listeners, thank you for spending time with us. We hope you've heard or learned something that's been inspiring or enlightening, and that whatever it is, will help you up your business, your life, your independence. I'm Kerry McCoy, and I'll see you next time on Up in Your Business. Until then, be brave and keep it up.
If you liked this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the picture of Kerry's face in the center of the screen. To watch the full-length interview, click the video in the top right. For more interview highlights, click the video in the bottom right. Thank you for watching.